Good morning. Welcome to the Premium Public Video Forecast discussion for Thursday, April 17th, 2025. Just in case you don't know, we're going to shift to weekend mode updates for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we move into the holiday weekend. And of course, happy Passover, happy Easter. Passover ends on this Sunday, just checked. And of course, we have Easter Sunday on the way. So, with all the holidays going on, just want to wish blessings to all of you and your families and all that good stuff. And of course, plenty of chocolate bunnies, right? So the pattern is starting to shift towards a warmer state. And we've been talking about for some time, especially in the premium members, the evolution of our weather pattern. What is the primary lifting parameters and forcing mechanisms that we're going to be dealing with over the next couple of months? Because we don't have an El Nino or La Nina. Stratospheric conditions are minoring out as they typically do for this time of year. So the only real focus that we have now, let's jump right to it, is the MJO, which of course is going to just lead to all sorts of fun over the next several months. Because the MJO is, well, tends to be a little more fickle for a seasonal forecasting parameter than, let's say, El Nino or La Nina. El Nino or La Nina is stable, right? It's in place. It's in place for several months. You get an idea of what to expect with it. The MJO, especially when it's weak like this, can be a bit volatile, and a lot of, let's say, tricks show up in the forecast as a result. And you have to be mindful of all the other factors involved in influencing the weather pattern, mountain torque, all that good stuff. So this is where we need to really be on point to see where the MJO is going and try to focus on 15 days at a time. But overall, this type of weather pattern, when you have a neutral end-zone state, typically leads to a progressive weather pattern overall over the United States as any type of high latitude blocking shifts northward, like your negative NAO influence. And it can be active, but also starts to generally shift towards a warmer environment overall, especially if you stay in phases 6, and 7, and 8 during the spring. There is potential if we go to 8, 1, and 2 over the next couple of months that we end up with a far more active weather pattern with more rainfall potential. But for now, let's just focus on the rest of this month. And with the state of the MJO going from a neutral state to a weak phase 7, possibly pushing it to phase 8, well, that typically leads to a gradual trough over the west, or somewhat zonal pattern, not a deep, powerful trough, but enough where you get your storm track coming out of the southern Rockies and heading towards the plains. So, unfortunately, severe weather will continue to be a threat for those locations. But then the storm track shifts more towards the St. Lawrence River Valley and towards southeastern Canada. So, what that means for us is a gradual building of 500 millibar heights. Not anything that is historic or well above normal, but what you generally get with this type of weather pattern is occasional cold fronts with showers and thunderstorms, but no major rainstorms or anything of that nature, and a gradual shift to above normal temperatures, but not well above normal. We're talking about 60s and 70s, not 80s or anything of that nature, at least not widespread in this type of weather pattern. Now, with your negative NAO signal still showing up here in the northwestern Atlantic, which I don't see fading anytime soon, we have to continue to keep an eye out for slowing warm fronts and some backdoor cold fronts. But the overall theme is that the warmer air from the Gulf Coast is going to win this fight. And the two primary air mass origins that we're going to be watching will be coming from the Pacific and from the Gulf Coast. So these two are going to be clashing quite a bit. You'll get some minor polar influences from time to time and minor maritime influences from time to time. But the overall theme here is moving towards a warmer weather pattern. Now, in this type of weather pattern, there isn't much in the way of any type of major storm. So over the next 90 hours heading into the holiday weekend, yeah, we'll be dodging a few showers on Saturday, mostly on Saturday evening, late in the evening. But other than that, it's going to be pretty quiet, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful on Sunday. So let's dive into the data. Currently, right now, we have high pressure building in. We have a northwesterly wind around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 30s over the highest elevations, mid to upper 30s over the rest of the northern interior, upper 30s to lower 40s in your suburbs, lower to mid 40s in your urban areas. On the radar, high pressures in control, no precipitation. It is high and dry and beautiful. And you can see we're starting to see the ridge axis here at 850 millibars approach. So our last wave of cold air transport is starting to move through this morning, and then we're going to shift to more of a neutral state, and then we start to see warm air transport taking hold for this afternoon. So this generally leads to warmer low temperatures by tomorrow than what we saw today, and a gradual warm up overall through the next couple of days, especially by Saturday, we could be talking about 80 degrees in a few locations down in southern New Jersey. Taking a look at the upper level winds, this is a really key point. When you're looking for tranquil weather conditions, you want to be under this area right here. Why? Because your air here, the winds at 250 millibars are converging. And when they converge, they sink. And sinking air leads to clearing skies. So this area right here, when it comes to upper level winds, is where you want to be if you're looking for sunny skies and tranquil weather conditions. And thus, our visible satellite picture, not a cloud in the sky, is absolutely going to be beautiful today. Plenty of sunshine, and overall, high temperatures today won't be too bad. Mid to upper 50s. So, overall, a pleasant day. It's going to be even better tomorrow. On the infrared satellite picture, there is a cluster of thunderstorms moving through the mid-Mississippi River Valley, exiting out of the Central Plains. Again, this whole couplet here will be lifting to the northeast as far as the storms that are driving this, or the lifting parameters driving these thunderstorms. So when the cold fronts get to our neck of the woods, it's nowhere near as impressive because all your best lifting and dynamics are going to be focused up towards the St. Lawrence River Valley, not over the northern mid-Atlantic. On the water vapor satellite picture, there is that influence of the convergence and confluence, sinking dry air in place along the coastal waters and over the region. There is our ridge axis, and there's the beginning of our warm air transport. And this feature is what we're going to be watching lifting through the Great Lakes and driving a cold front through our neck of the woods on Saturday afternoon. So let's take a look at the 500 millibar PVA over the next 90 hours. And again, there's our ridge axis, pretty quiet. Now, on Friday night, we'll get some what we call warm air transport. So we get some weak lifting, maybe an isolated shower or two. And then as you move on through Saturday, most of the day on Saturday is pretty quiet. And notice the PVA here is pretty weak. This feature right here is what drives our surface cold front south. But again, notice your strongest lifting and best divergence and diffluence is all over southeastern Canada. For us, it's rather relatively weak, and it runs into a nice ridge here in the subtropical jet stream that is building over the southeast. So a little bit of a La Nina hint there, but not very strong. It's more driven by the fact we just have a very strong, impressive shortwave down here over the desert southwest. So by the time we get to Sunday, well, there we go again. Perfect scenario here. Ridge axis is off to our west, convergence and confluence, leading to clearing skies and relative humidity falling off below 10% at 850 millibars. So that means plenty of sunny skies, maybe a little bit of a high level, high cloud sheen to the day, but overall, no precipitation, that is for sure. 850 millibars, just want to show the PVA here at the mid levels here, and this is why we'll have that threat for a few showers on Saturday evening. But there was a concern earlier, maybe seeing a few isolated thunderstorms, but that threat is rapidly falling the later the cold front moves through. Why was there a threat for thunderstorms? Well, first of all, pretty good moisture transport, so there will be plenty of moisture to work with as the cold front drops through. As you can see, our precipitable water values are going to be pushing up to 1.5, maybe even 1.6, although that seems a bit high, inches. So that means that any showers that do form will be capable of a brief heavy downpour. But notice how quickly that moisture drops off. I mean, geez, when you get down to this level, it's dry. So as you can see, this is why Sunday I'm expecting rather pleasant weather conditions. Now, the instability in place will have to be watched, okay? So we have pretty warm 850 millibar temperatures, and our surface temperatures on Saturday will be pushing into the 70s, possibly pushing 80 degrees in a few spots here. Right now, I'm not expecting that widespread, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few locations in central and southern New Jersey and southeastern Pennsylvania that are around 79 to 82 degrees. This environment, if we get a little bit of lifting, let's say at 4 or 5 p.m., could spark off a few isolated thunderstorms. But the later the cold front moves through, which is back here, the less potential there will be for those thunderstorms to develop. They'll more likely form out here in central Pennsylvania. By the time they get here, they'll be far weaker. You might hear a little rumble of thunder at 10 p.m. and just a brief heavy downpour, and that is about it. Not looking for any type of severe weather, though, in this. So the winds, the vertical winds are pretty much aligned. There's no shear. There's not much in the way of shear, not much in the way of vertical shear. So not really concerned about that. The high water content in the atmosphere does open up the potential for a little bit more lightning. So we'll keep an eye on that. But right now, the later the cold front moves through, the less likely there is for thunderstorms because the instability falls much faster. So over the next couple of days, look, it's pretty quiet. Thursday, Friday, okay, pretty quiet. There's our warm front moving through, maybe an isolated shower on Friday evening, but nothing really too significant. Saturday morning, overall pretty quiet. Some low clouds, maybe a little bit of fog along the coast, and an isolated shower here and there. But again, all your strong lifting is all focused well to the north of us. Then we get to Saturday afternoon, and there is our cold front approaching. And this is where I could see an isolated thunderstorm pop up here in central Pennsylvania, try to move into eastern Pennsylvania, and then weaken as they move through late in the night on Saturday into early Sunday morning. And then Sunday, it's absolutely beautiful. So let's dive into this forecast for today. Tranquil, beautiful weather conditions, high temperatures in the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, mid to upper 50s along the coast, possibly a few lower 60s popping up around the Philadelphia metro. We get enough mixing in the atmosphere. For tonight into tomorrow morning, tranquil weather conditions continue. Low temperatures in the mid to upper 30s for most of the region, lower to mid 30s for their highest elevations. For tomorrow afternoon, look for a southwesterly wind and some increasing cloud cover. Generally dry. I can't rule out an isolated shower in the evening, but the key word there is isolated. Most locations will be pretty quiet. Look for high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s on Long Island, lower to mid 60s along the rest of the coast, mid to upper 60s everywhere else. For Saturday, warm fronts to the north of us. Watch out for a little bit of fog in the morning. Low temperatures will range from the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior and in your suburbs, upper 50s to lower 60s in your urban areas. In the afternoon, clouds will increase. The threat for showers will start to increase, especially towards the late afternoon and evening hours. And again, over eastern Pennsylvania, you could spark off a strong thunderstorm or two. Look for high temperatures ahead of the rainfall, ranging from the upper 60s to lower 70s on Long Island. Mid to upper 70s along the coast, mid to upper 70s over the interior, and upper 70s to lower 80s in the Delaware River Valley. So if you could dodge the showers for most of the day, it's going to be an absolutely beautiful day and almost summer-like. Saturday night, the cold front moves through with showers. By Sunday morning, skies start to clear. Look for low temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 30s over the northern interior, lower to mid 40s in your suburbs, and upper 40s to lower 50s in your urban areas. Sunday afternoon, skies clear. Look for tranquil weather conditions with high temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, upper 50s to lower 60s along the coast, and lower to mid 60s in the Delaware River Valley. On Monday, a warm front will lift through with an isolated shower possible, but for the most part, sky cloud cover is expected. Look for low temperatures in the mid to upper 30s over the northern interior, upper 30s to lower 40s in the suburbs, lower to mid 40s in your urban areas. High temperatures will rebound into the mid to upper 50s on Long Island, lower to mid 60s everywhere else. On Monday night into Tuesday, a cold front will move through with showers and possibly a few isolated thunderstorms. Look for low temperatures by Sunday, Tuesday morning as the cold front clears, ranging from the lower to mid 50s. By Tuesday afternoon, the cold front clears. Look for clearing skies with high temperatures ranging from the upper 60s to lower 70s over the northern interior, lower to mid 70s along the coast, mid, possibly upper 70s in the Delaware River Valley. On Wednesday, high pressure will be in control with tranquil conditions. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior, upper 40s to lower 50s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the upper 60s to lower 70s on the immediate coast, mid to upper 70s in the Delaware River Valley, lower to mid 70s over the interior. And on Thursday, a strong cold front will move through with showers and thunderstorms. And a couple of these thunderstorms could be strong, but we got some time to watch it. So we'll see how it plays out, especially with the timing of the cold front. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior and in your suburbs, mid to upper 50s in your urban areas. High temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 60s, should I say mid 60s to lower 70s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s on Long Island, upper 60s to lower 70s along the coast, and mid to upper 70s in the Delaware River Valley. That is your premium public video discussion for this week. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on Monday. In the meantime, stay safe out there.